I am going to discuss about unit 2 of digital control systems, which is Z transforms. So Z transform is a mathematical tool which is used to convert the discrete time domain into Z domain. That means for a discrete time signal, if you apply Z transform, then Z transform of x of k will be equivalent to x of z will be equal to summation k equals to minus infinity to infinity x of k discrete time signal into z power minus k. This is a mathematical formula which is used to convert the discrete time domain signal x of k into Z transformed domain, that is x of z. If you see ROC, so ROC means region of convergence. That means, so for the range of values of z, if the x of z converges, then that is said to be the ROC in z domain. That means, let us see ROC for some sequences. First, let us see for finite duration pass-through sequence. ROC for finite duration pass-through sequence is, let us take a sequence x of k equals to 1, minus 2, 3, 4, 5. So putting arrow mark over here means this is k equals to 0th sample, k equals to first sample, second sample, third sample and fourth sample. So this is some finite duration pass-through sequence. If you find the Z transform for this sequence, then the x of z of this sequence becomes x of 0 into z power minus 0 plus x of 1 into z power minus 1 plus x of 2 into z power minus 2 plus x of 3 into z power minus 3 plus x of 4 into z power minus 4. And if you put all these values over here, x of 0 means 1, 1 into z power minus 0, 1 plus x of 1 means minus 2 into z power minus 1 plus 3 into z power minus 2 plus 4 into z power minus 3 plus 5 into z power minus 4. If you see the ROC for this sequence, if you put z equals to 0 over here, this function becomes infinite for z equals to 0. That means, so ROC means the range of values of z for which x of z should converges, means x of z should be finite. But here for z equals to 0, we are getting infinite for x of z. That means ROC for this finite duration pass-through sequence is entire z plane except at z equal to 0. Except at z equal to 0. Similarly, if you see ROC for finite duration negative sequence, let us take an example x of k equal to 2, 4, 3, 1. Now mark is over here. Now if you find the Z transform for this signal x of z equal to, so this is k equals to 0th sample, first sample, second sample and third sample, means x of 0 means 1 into z power minus 0 plus x of minus 1 means 3 into z power minus of minus 1 means z power 1 plus x of minus 2 means 4 into z power minus of minus 2 means z square plus x of minus 3 means 2 into z power minus of minus 3 means z cube. Now, if you put z equals to 0 over here, see here, if you put z equals to infinity over in this function, then you are getting x of z as infinite value, means which is not being converged, means we are not getting any finite value. So ROC for this finite duration negative sequence is entire z plane except at z equals to infinity. So ROC is entire z plane except z equals to infinity. Similarly, if you take the finite duration two-sided sequence, let us take an example. If you take the example x of k equals to 2, 3, 1, 4, 5. Now I am putting mark over here. That means this is k equals to 0th sample, this is k equals to first sample, second sample and these are negative samples. For this finite duration two-sided sequence, if you find the ROC, it becomes the entire z plane except at z equals to 0 and infinity. So ROC for this finite duration two-sided sequence is entire z plane except at z equals to 0 and infinity. If you find the x of z for this, and after putting z equals to 0 and infinity, you will be getting some infinite value, which will not be converged. Now let us see the ROC of infinite duration past two sequence. Infinite duration past two sequence example is x of k equals to a power k into u of k. A power k into u of k. If you find the z transform for this sequence, x of z will be summation k equal to, now it becomes 0 to infinity, a power k into u of k means it is 1 into z power minus k. U of k means it is of unit step sequence. So unit step sequence means amplitude will be 1 and it will be having value of 1 only from 0 to infinity. Only from, if you draw the sequence, this is the unit step sequence having value of 1 from 0 to infinity values of k. So now by putting all these values samples over here, for a k equals to 0 it will be 1 in 1, for k equals to 1 a into z inverse, for k equals to 2 a into z power minus 2 a into z power minus 3 plus so on. So it looks like 1 plus r square plus, and this is a power 1 a square, and this is a cube. It looks like 1 plus r square plus r cube plus 1. That means here az inverse, you can write it as whole square, and you can write it as az inverse whole cube plus 1. It looks like 1 plus r square plus r cube plus 1. So you can write it as 1 by 1 minus r. R means a z inverse. For a z inverse mod or less than 1. That means from this it will be mod z greater than a. If you simplify this, you will be getting it as z by z minus a. So z transform of infinite duration past two sequence example, which is a power k into u of k, is z by z minus a. For mod z greater than a means, if you find the ROC for this is, it will be exterior of the circle having radius a. This is z plane. In the z plane, ROC for this infinite duration past two sequence is exterior of the circle having radius a. Now similarly, if you see z transform of, next case, z transform of infinite duration negative sequence, example for this infinite duration negative sequence is minus b power k u of minus k minus 1. If you find the z transform of these signals as like in this manner, you will be getting it as z by z minus b, z by z minus b. But here your ROC will be interior of the circle having radius b in the z plane. This is z plane. Interior of the circle having radius b will be the ROC for this infinite duration negative sequence. So together, if you see all these cases, ROC means the range of values of z for which x of z should be converged. For finite duration past two sequence, ROC is entire z plane except at z equals to 0. So for finite duration negative sequence, ROC is entire z plane except at z equals to infinity. For infinite duration past two sequence, for finite duration two-sided sequence, ROC is entire z plane except at z equals to 0 and infinity. For infinite duration past two sequence, ROC is entire z plane except ROC is exterior of the circle having radius a if the signal is a power k into u of k. For infinite duration negative sequence, ROC is interior of the circle having radius b if the signal is minus b power k into u of minus k minus 1. Similarly, if you see infinite duration two-sided sequence means combination of these two, then the signal I am taking is a power k into u of k, infinite duration past two sequence, and infinite duration negative sequence minus b power k u of minus k minus 1. If you find the z transform for this, you will be getting it as combination of these two, means z by z minus a for this part and z by z minus b for this part. And here I am taking a is less than b. That means this is a and this is B, then your ROC will be the ring in the Z plane with a width of B minus A. Thank you.